That's
Yeah.
one thing I pride myself on is, look, I'm 63. I still have a coach. I have a fitness coach. I got a business coach. I got a coach, because I don't know jack.
Yeah.
you know, so I might as well learn as much as I can while I'm on the planet and alive.
I love that.
If I say anything, damn it, be curious.
This episode of Commercial Real Estate School is brought to you by DealNav, a map-based CRM built specifically for commercial real estate. If you're tracking opportunities in Excel, notes, or random folders, DealNav puts everything in one place. Your deals, your contacts, minders, pipeline, all visualized on a map so nothing slips through the cracks. If you want to check it out, go to deal-nav.com and use the code Kyle15 for 15% off. Again, that's deal-nav.com, code Kyle15. All right, guys, welcome back to Commercial Real Estate School. My guest today is Rod Santomassimo, and Rod is the founder and president of the Massimo Group, the #1 commercial real estate broker, coaching, and consulting organization in the world. And he's coached over 4,200 commercial real estate professionals across the country, which is wild. CCIM designee, the author of 3 best-selling books, all of which I own, Brokers Who Dominate, Teams Built to Dominate, and Knowing Isn't Doing, which hit #1 in American sales when it launched, which is great. He launched the Massimo Group in 2008 during the financial crisis. We'll get into that. After leaving Sperry Van Ness, where he ran franchise operations across the country. His coaches are all active brokers, not retired ones, and the results his clients put up speak for themselves. Rod, welcome back to Commercial Real Estate School.
Kyle, great having me back, and thank you for having me. And 2 things. Number 1, you're one of the rare hosts that actually say my name correctly, so thank you so much for
Ah,
that.
how do they use it? What variations do you get?
They butcher it.
Oh, I bet.
Santomassimo,
Ah,
Santomassimo. So, yeah, I mean, you got it. We're up to 5 books, by the way. We're up to 5 books now, believe it or not.
oh,
Best-selling, knock on wood. And now I just started last week writing my 6th book. We'll see how long that takes.
I mean, that is a lesson in time management of itself. But it's funny that you said that about the names because forever, whenever I call, like cold call or any kind of call or somebody I don't know, Kyle and Sarah always sounds like Kyle and Sarah are calling. So they're like, "How's your sister?" And I'm like, "Why the hell these people think I have a sister? I don't have a sister." But you know what's funny? ChatGPT, they all do the same thing. If I say Kyle and Sarah, it says Kyle and Sarah. So it must
Yep,
be.
absolutely.
Um, so let's just get started with the origin story. I know it's pretty well spoken about before, but I think get a little context here. You did start the Massimo Group in 2008.
Best time to start a company.
It's a test of character. So walk me back to that decision. Well, what led to that time?
Well, my journey before then was always broker, entrepreneur, employee, roller coaster, and I always, chased the money. Market sucked. I got a job. Market was
Mm.
great. I built a company. It was pathetic. It really was. Until 2008, when the market really sucked, as we all
Mm,
know, the
yeah.
Great Recession. For those kids who don't remember that, you think the pandemic was bad. You've been around for the Great Recession. And that's when Sperry Van Ness said, "Rob, we love you, but we're cutting everyone out but 3 people." And I was not one of those 3 people. And I was I was commuting in California every week, and I live
Oh,
in North
wow.
Carolina now. So got home, looked at my wife and said, "We'll figure it out." And Kyle, literally within a couple of weeks, it was corny as hell. I woke up and I said, "You know what? I think I'm going to coach. I understand business. I understand brokerage. I think I'm going to coach." Now, great idea when no one's going to pay for coaching. So we
Mhm.
knew the first 3 years or so would be brutal, and they were. But Kyle, all became from a dream of me coaching an individual. Did I ever dream to get to this big? Never in my lifetime. I dream to get where it is today.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, that was it. It's a dream that said, "Rod, go coach." And so that's what I decided to do.
I mean, and that's probably the time when they needed the most, right? Even though maybe they were like, "I don't know if I want to spend this kind of money," but that's the time when they're probably like a good time to pick up
There's never a
something.
bad time. I
Yeah.
mean, you're busy, things are great. Guess what? They're not always going to be great, right? And you're busy, that's not a good place to be. There's never a great time to start getting coached versus another. There isn't. So everyone has their own different time.
So having coached 4,200 commercial real estate professionals,
Well, hold on. I have not
that's
personally
not true.
coached.
Oh, okay, not you. Okay, the
Our
collective
company
you.
has.
Okay, the company. Okay, so
Yes.
let's however many that you've coached. I
Yes.
mean, that's a tremendous amount of information, right? Feedback that you're getting from these folks,
Great data.
their concerns. Yeah, yeah. So when did you realize, like, wow, this data set is actually super important as you continue to grow the business, but just in general?
Yeah, we started collecting data early, didn't understand the idea of the value it would bring. But definitely when we're seeing the trends that are happening in the market, whether it be in someone in St. Louis or someone in New York or someone in LA, they all have different issues and different environments, but
Yeah.
the threads seem to be the same. They were. So the data really started out, and then we started tracking pipeline and activities and seeing when activities lead to more opportunities. Then data became really valuable to us.
So I guess when you're talking to these, they're all sorts of different levels of experience, right? I know Bob's a client, and I'm sure you have some first year folks. But when you're talking to the like average broker, middle of the road, they know their market, they have a decent network, they're a couple years in, but they're stuck. Like they're stuck at a certain level. What's happening there? Like, is there anything that's that you can typically put your finger on, or like how do you really diagnose what the issue is there?
Yeah, look, it always comes down to them being the bottleneck of something, right?
Mm.
They don't. So I'm a big follower of Alex Hormozy. I don't know if you are or
Oh
not,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Hormozy calls it the ignorance tax, and what you don't know is costing you hundreds of thousands, if not millions. For me,
Mm.
it's millions, but that's just because I don't know. So let's say we're an $8 million company, I would be 10 million. Well, that costs me $2 million a year. You're $100,000 broker, you're gonna be a 500,000 broker. That costs you $400,000 a year, not knowing. So I think that they hit that plateau of just they don't know what else to do. It's just that
Mm.
simple. They don't know there's other ways to prospect. They don't know there's other ways to market. They don't know there's other ways to pitch. They just haven't been exposed to them. So
Yeah,
therefore they're stuck. I think that's
yeah.
true for every one of those in that zone.
So they're stuck in that zone, like, let's just say prospecting, for example. Is it like just they've worn out the market, or it's just a tired practice, they haven't adjusted? Is there anything? I guess I'm looking for like more like a universal answer, or maybe it doesn't apply. Maybe there's not
No,
even this
no, it
answer.
is. So say it's prospecting. So
Yeah.
I've been prospecting like this for every year since, well, that's the problem. You've been prospecting like this
Yeah.
since the beginning of your
Makes sense.
brokers. You don't prospect like that anymore. Not today. Even you don't prospect that you do in 2026 like you did in 2020, especially with the
Yeah.
addition of AI today. So you're not adjusting, you're not adapting, and that's why you're stuck. And that's true
Yeah.
with most or you're saying something that people just don't they don't doesn't resonate with them. Your value proposition is poor. Your calling cadence is poor. Your prospecting campaign is poor, or could improve. That's where we see the issues on the prospecting side.
Yeah. And I actually started my career working as a financial advisor. During when everything was great. So we'd make 500 cold calls a day, and I watched one of your sessions where you were doing the dry runs on these guys and
Yeah.
giving them feedback. Is that something that they usually find valuable, or is that a normal practice as part of your coaching program? Is those sort of like dry run
Well, we
cold
role
calls? I thought
play
they
all
were
the
great.
time. We role play all the time with our clients.
That's
We
awesome.
have to. Hell, we role play. I don't anymore, but I used to. But now my sales manager role plays every day, even today with our sales guys, because
Oh, wow.
every day they need to be reminded. No, you're slipping away from what you should be doing and going
Mhm.
here. It's so easy to get comfortable
Oh
in
yeah.
doing the wrong things.
So talking about prospecting and plateauing, what does it look like from the inside? Like when you guys are looking at these guys and you're trying to analyze what the broker is thinking, like how do you go about even analyzing that? Like, I mean, I know there's different tone, different, all sorts of different ways to approach it. What you're offering, are you even actively listening? But is there like from the inside, how do you guys analyze somebody's like prospecting technique?
Well, for how we analyze our clients or our sales team, which
Oh,
one?
your clients, yeah, the
Okay, because
brokers.
actually it's different. We should though. But for our sales team, we run all their calls through AI and they go through a framework and they follow the framework and the tone and they listen and the
Mm,
AI tells us what they're doing, right? Very simple.
that's
And
great.
they see the data right there. From our clients, obviously we're not listening to their prospecting calls. That'd be illegal. It would be. So, but what we do is sometimes our coaches will sit there and go, okay, go call. I'll sit back and I'll just
Oh,
watch what you do. And then we can tell from their tone, their demeanor, what they say, how they say it,
yeah,
what's their energy level, right?
yeah.
I mean, if you're sitting there making prospect calls, sitting at your desk,
Ah, yeah.
making prospect calls, you've already lost half the battle.
Oh,
You
dude,
should be
yeah.
standing up with a headset on, walking around, sharing the energy. That'll
Mhm.
bring you more production than most tactics and say this, not that. That's as simple as it can be sometimes.
Oh,
But
yeah.
a lot of times people do say the wrong things, and we got to get them back to what we believe is working in the marketplace.
No, we were when I worked at Prudential Securities, you were not allowed to sit down at all. Everybody had
No,
to stand up.
not at all.
So I know you play lacrosse, and we were just talking about coaches and things that they say. And I find myself now that I'm older going back to the coaches that I like really at the time were like, this guy's, I can't stand this dude. Get him off my back. But they're definitely the lessons that resonated the hardest. Are there, I guess, what's the hardest truth that you've had to deliver to a broker who came to you for coaching that they really didn't want to hear? Or maybe consistently they come to you and you're like, you're not going to want to hear this.
Yeah, well, you know, people I personally coached is telling them, well, what the I'll say it nicely.
Well,
What what the heck are we doing this week? Look
yeah.
at your numbers. Look at the calls you're making. Look at the marketing efforts. What the hell are you doing this week?
Mm,
You made selection that commercial real estate brokers be the vehicle that builds everything in your life. And what are you doing? Right. So just calling them out. Sometimes you got to call them out. Look, we have 35 coaches out now coaching clients, mostly in the US, but yes, we have clients across the globe. And some of our coaches are kicking the ass coaches, and because our clients need that. And
yeah.
some of the coaches are softer, put it that
Mm,
way, because those clients can't handle a hard kick in the ass. They can't, right? Every client is different. We assess every single one of our one-on-one clients to understand how they're wired, because you got to coach them differently. I mean, you played football, I played lacrosse. If our coaches treat us all the same way, which generally they do a lot of things in a macro way, they have to, right? The message will not fall on everyone the same way. It
right.
won't. So for our clients, sometimes it's, "Hey, Rod, I made my 10 calls a day." Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
They don't realize what hard is. They
Yeah. Right.
don't. Look, I was in the gym today and we put a post on LinkedIn today about this. So Kyle, I just got, I've worked out 4 or 5 days a week, every week since I've been 23 years old. Easily, right? Since college, right?
Wow.
Easily. Even during college, right? Because athletics. So since I was 18. So that means over 45 years now, I've been working out 5 days a week. But you know what? Even I get lazy and I do the same things. I don't build any more muscle.
Yeah.
So I got a coach. I got a coach. I put that on my LinkedIn post. And my coach today was working through me. He's like, dude, you can do another rep. What the hell are you doing? He's
Yeah.
like, you're right. I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you gotta be pushed. Pushing works.
So you when you interview these clients, you're like, this person should be paired up with this guy. This one should be with this gal. Like you're making that decision based on the personality. Okay, that's super cool.
Yeah, and
Um,
we have a success rate on coach matching 97.2% of the time. We track everything. And
wow.
when we're wrong, the 2.8% of the time, we move to a second coach. We have never in the history of our company, almost 20 years now, had to move to a third coach. So we get it right the second time.
Oh,
But one thing I'll share, so we both have a friend in Bob Knackle. For the listeners, he is the greatest broker from a pure selling buildings data standpoint,
mm,
right? He's great. He's a great friend and he's a great dude, and I love the guy. But even times like Bob Knackle, who is people think he's just, he does everything right. He does
yeah.
things wrong. And so sometime, and I'm gonna bleep this out. So sometimes I gotta say, hey, you're Bob effing Knackle. What the hell are you doing right now? Right? And he'll snap out of it and go, you're right. I'm Bob effing Knackle. So sometimes you gotta do things like that.
I tell you, I owe him a phone call because sent him a referral the other day, and he called me at like 7:30, and like we have a young kid, and my wife's always like,
Yeah.
"Hey, working? What's going on the phone call?" And I was like, He's working, okay? I'm taking this freaking phone call, okay? Like, that's when she's works in fitness, it's a different lifestyle for her, but I'm like, I don't know if you've ever seen that scene from, Entourage with Ari Gold when he talks to his wife, he's like, "You wanna live here? Then this is what it takes." That was the energy I gave that, so I owe him. He coached me, but he didn't know that he did in that exact moment. I coached
Yeah.
Jeremy. So let's talk about AI real quick because everyone's talking about it,
Yep.
and I was doing a little research into Mia and this phone call experiment. Was it 200 calls or 225 calls it made and like 225 emails in like 10 or 15 minutes?
Oh, God, we do faster than that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But
Oh my
yeah,
God.
so what we're doing now is, well, we started using Mia for ourselves. Then we said, Mia is not a girl, by the way. Mia is a Massimo intelligent agent. It's AI, right? But any AI agent today can make phone calls on your behalf. They can, as long as you go within FCC compliance, which, yes, takes a lot of work. It does.
Mhm.
But we've figured it out. So for our clients, for example, they use a platform we call the CRE Prospector. And so you can now get a listing and get it out to all the investors, or tenants, or whatever it's going to be, right? Within minutes and get responses and then have text bots communicate and share
Oh,
data. All that's automated today. And that's why, Kyle, where we're seeing is the idea. So, Kyle, what's the average listing agreement as far as tenure that you ask for? Is it 6 months, 12 months? What is it?
12 months.
12 months. And that's fine, right? Most brokers ask for 6 or 12, depending on what it is. But with AI today, you can ask for a month because you have an answer in a month. Now, of course, any qualified lead that comes in, you then succeed. That continues to go on after the term. But that's the point. So yeah, AI bots, text bots, phone bots, call bots, they give you the advantage of leverage of time. And look, so I guarantee you this, Kyle. So I'm gonna make it up for you. Let's say you charge, I'm making it up, 6%. Maybe you charge 10, maybe you charge 2.
Hmm.
It's up to you. You're charging 6% for a 12-month listing. Believe it or not, you could charge 8% for a 2-month listing because time is money.
Right.
People will pay more for faster results.
Ah,
So that's what AI allows you to do.
that's incredible. And I think that, you actually, I don't know if it was a tweet or a piece of content that I saw from you when you were talking about fees. Like, should you charge a fee for this type of thing? And I do a lot of referral work. So I
Yeah.
provide basically like quarterback deals from a higher level on like a national rollout for some of these emerging franchise brands. And I was like, screw it. I'm charging a fee. Like there's nothing written down that you can't charge a fee.
Nothing.
And yeah, and look, they're like, okay, I get it. So now it's kind of formed like this fractional role where it's like you pay a retainer based on this. You don't like it, we're done the end of this month. That's it. So I think it's sort of like that Amazon sort of, we want things now. We want them when we want them. We want to have our free time bought back with this AI stuff. I mean, I think brokers are looking at this and one or two things. Either they're like, shit, I'm out of a job, or two, they're like, all right, what can I do here? What what reaction do you think is more dangerous right now for a broker?
Well, the most dangerous is shit, I'm out of a job,
Yeah,
without a doubt, right?
right.
So that means if you say that, now you realize if you say it and that's your mindset, then you're not going to adapt, and therefore, yeah, you're gonna self decide that I'm gone, right?
Yep.
That's it. But no, you've got to start adapting. I can't mention the company, but let's just say one of the top 3 firms in the world just called us and said, it's time to get our guys involved more in AI. Can you help? And yeah, we are. We're helping them, and we're helping. Now we've gone from helping. I love. We will not ever change from our focus is working with individual brokers. That's
Hmm.
how the company was built, and that's what I love. But we have started getting more enterprise inquiries saying, Rod, we have a company, we have teams, get us to produce better and leveraging AI. So you got to adapt. You
Yeah.
have to adapt.
And if we're talking specifics, somebody a broker who decides like, you know what, I know what I'm doing. I have my clients. I'm just gonna keep, the 180 yards off the tee down. I'm just keep going this way. That's exactly what's always worked for me. What what's the risk to them in the next? I mean, 12 months sounds like 12 years.
Well,
And
there's
the
not a
speed is
risk in
moving.
12 months. There's not, right? Here's the risk, right? That client dies or gets or moves on to another business, and that relationship is then gone, right?
Hmm.
You had a great relationship with a company, it's gone, and now you have nothing, right? Or some persistent broker keeps on nudging that client and showing what they can do with AI, and they're like, can my guy do that? Can my girl do that? I don't
Mm,
think we get that. And then they go, you know what? When it comes to, I love you, buddy. I love you, but I
yeah,
got to go where I get better results and better performance. And they're using AI and you're not. And
yeah.
that's just what you got to adapt to.
It's wild. Such a wild time. It's so hard to like. It feels like just a week ago, people were like mocking the fact that you're like, oh, did you put that into ChatGPT? Now it's like, you better put this in AI so you can get a better answer out of it. It changed
Yeah,
like
it's
overnight.
it's it's crazy how, and I don't know if you yet dove into Claude Cowork, for example,
Hmm.
but it's crazy how even the chat is now that's so antiquated.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I started playing around with code what is it? Design. I mean, you can
Yeah,
design a website and have it up
yeah,
in an hour if you wanted to.
yep,
So one thing that really stands out to me is the fact that you have it says that Massimo clients, they earn 7 times on average more than other brokers. So let's say today, Tuesday morning, what is the difference between somebody who's been through your program this morning versus somebody who hasn't or should be going through that? Because I'm curious what that tactical difference is.
Well, our goal is not all our clients will do this, but our
Right.
goal is that you understand that as a Massimo client, you're not a broker. You're not. You yes, that's your job, your vocation. But you actually, is by law in the United States, you're an independent contractor, which makes you the CEO of your company.
Hmm.
So you got sales division, a marketing division, an operations division, finance, and HR. Right. That's with every company. You have that. So you go into as a CEO, you're looking from more of a database decisions, number one, which is why we track everything. Right. You're also looking at structure and you're a calendar that you command versus a calendar you react to. So
Hmm.
you're always proactively stating how you're going to invest your time during the week, that upcoming week. So that Tuesday, you know what you're doing. There's clarity. You know who you're calling. You know what you're saying. You know what you're going after. You know what you're pitching, what the pitch is going to look like. You know their goals or aspirations, their psychographics. You know all that because you're prepped, you're
Hmm.
prepared. Just like when you and I played football lacrosse respectively,
Yeah.
we didn't go in a game without looking at game film. That'd be
Right.
stupid,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
no, we're prepared. Most brokers, and let me just define the 7X since you said it. So, United States, Kyle, and you look at so many stats. In the United States, the average commercial, not residential, the average commercial real estate broker earns about 132,000 gross commission income, which sounds okay, but you think about it, that means they're taking home, what, 70,000?
Yeah.
Right? So our one-on-one clients, not our new to business brokers, not our group coaching, which is all awesome, but our one-on-one coaching clients, they're routinely, including 2025, are averaging about 857, 858 on average. So that's a 7X return.
Yeah.
It's a 7X multiple over the average broker. Yeah. Do we have clients making 8 figures? Yeah, we
Yeah.
do. Absolutely. Do you have clients making low 6 figures? Of course we do.
Yeah.
But that's the average.
So in all of that, there's so many different behaviors that you're looking at, and I'm sure the one-on-ones, obviously, you have the time to deal more with this. But what's like? Is there one? Hormozy leans on this too. Is like the leverage. Like, what leverage do you have? What is there a single highest sort of like leverage shift that you can point to? Like, what's going to move that number the fastest for them?
Believe it or not, it's commitment.
Mm.
It is. It's
There's nothing
commitment.
you can't avoid. Right.
Yeah, look, I'll share you there. I got a call this morning from our director of client success telling me that, I won't mention the name, was quitting. And I said, I apologize. I never heard of that person because I hadn't, right? We have
Hmm.
hundreds and hundreds of clients. And so he joined last month, which we have like a year contract. So that's another issue. But I
Yeah.
said, that's no commitment.
Yeah. Right.
I'm going to quit because I got busy. Come on. Right.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know who said it, but it's been said for a long time. It was said before Harvey McKay and Tony Robbins, some of the gurus of thought leadership. But the bigger the commitment, sometimes that means investment. It does.
Hmm.
Sometimes it means time, the greater the results. And so those clients at Massimo who commit to our process, look, this is a fact. I'm not saying it's to boast. We take data seriously. We guarantee all our programs. Guarantee all our programs, 4,200 and counting clients,
Yeah.
right? And here's a guarantee. Show up, do what we ask, and if you don't feel at the end of the program you're in a better position to earn significantly more money, oh, what happened there? That was crazy. If you got
Yeah.
Where's my hand? Let's get that back. Let's get that back. Wait a minute.
There we
Oh,
go.
my camera just went crazy. Okay, so if you're not in significant position to earn more money, we'll coach you for free, right?
Right.
So out of 4,200 clients, Kyle, how many people think have taken us up on that guarantee?
None.
One.
One.
One. And he did all the work. He did. He did all the work. He showed all the sessions. But for that one person, it didn't work.
Yeah.
And then he quit brokerage 3 months later and said, I don't like brokerage, right? So the point of saying that is, if you commit and when you do the work, you will get results.
Yeah.
So do all our clients do the work and commit? No, no. And that's why they don't get results.
And that's the
So
thing.
you asking for the lever?
Yeah.
If you're going to do something and invest in something, it doesn't be Massimo coaching, be whatever you're going to do. If it's just you decide I'm going to be in commercial real estate, well, damn it, dive in head first and commit to it and do everything you need to do to
Yeah.
be successful.
I mean, there's so many like sports analogies that come to mind, but like I took golf lessons for a little while. I don't know. It was like something I got as a gift.
God bless you on that one.
God, dripping in sweat. It was brutal. And the guy was making me hit like these little chip shots for an hour. And I was like, hey, honestly, I get it. Can we do something else? He's like, no, because he gave me the rationale on why you got to focus on the short game. And I said, let me ask something. What's the difference between you and Tiger Woods? Because this guy, I forget, we were like chipping into a net or something. He was just bing, 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 one area after the other. And he goes, the difference between me and Tiger Woods is bigger than the difference between me and you. And he goes, when I was on the Nike tour, I was hitting 25 to 3,000 balls a day. And he's like, I probably should have been hitting 7 to 10 like Tiger. And I was like, geez, wow. I mean, that's commitment, right? Like that's what it's like. And then you hear Hormozy and then like Bob Knackle, still making cold calls and things like that. There is no magic pill, right? I think that's what I really think.
No.
People want the answer to be, oh, just do this and everything's going to change for you today.
Yeah, that's not it. You just got to commit to the process. And look, we know this. Look, what's great about Bob? I mean, there's so many great things about Bob, and many of our clients. What's the one? So it wasn't commitment, the other C word. That'd be called being curious, right?
Yeah.
I will tell you, it is you won't be shocked when we call. Look, we call brokers every day. Every day we're calling to share with them what we do.
Mhm.
How many people hang up on us and go, "I never need a coach. I'm good. I'm not interested." There's 3 intellects that I learned. I learned this from, and you're gonna laugh. I learned this from Grant Cardone. Okay, so there are 3 intellects. One is ignorance. We talked about that. Hormozy talks about that, right? We all don't know what we don't know. We're all ignorant. We don't know everything. Get over it. We don't. So
Yeah.
we're ignorant. Okay, good. Second is arrogant. I know. I'm good. I don't need help. Total arrogance.
Yeah.
There's so
Oh,
much
yeah.
arrogance in brokerage. It's pathetic.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is.
Oh my God.
Third is curious. Huh. Tell me more. I need to know. Give me the information I need to make a more educated decision. I may
Mhm.
say no. I might say no, but at least let me understand it better. At least I'm curious. That's
Yeah.
one thing I pride myself on is, look, I'm 63. I still have a coach. I have a fitness coach. I got a business coach. I got a coach, because I don't know jack.
Yeah.
So I might as well learn as much as I can while I'm on the planet and alive.
I love that.
If I say anything, damn it, be curious.
Yeah. My buddy always says, stay curious, get involved and ask questions.
Yep.
That's like, he feels like that's like his key. So speaking about Bob, not to pick on Bob. I mean, but all your high performing brokers that you have there, and we've alluded to the fact that you have a coach and these people still need a coach. What are they
They
actually
don't need a coach. No one needs a coach. I think everyone needs it. You should want a coach. You should
Yeah.
want to get better.
That's the difference though. Most people, like you said, ego don't want it. Like they're resistant to it. But somebody like them, they want it there to hold them accountable. But is there anything that they're all like those top 5 that you have in your head? What are they all collectively working on? Is it all different?
We say what they work on. What do you mean? So I can answer the
Like, are
question.
they like top performers? Are they like, oh, I'm constantly working on making sure I'm attending networking events. I'm doing this, or is it just a case by case basis?
No, they're all different. Like, I'll give you some examples. So, James Nelson, he runs the U.S. investment sales for Everson Young. You know James, and James has been a client of ours for 10 years.
Yeah.
So for a long time, it was team building. I got to structure the team to give me a 10x return, and that's what we built with James. Was team building. With Bob, for a long time, it was let's go back to our inactive clients and create an inactive client campaign. And then eventually, because hey, Bob, you're not on social media. Of course, now Bob is the #1 influencer on LinkedIn. Right?
Avoid that
He wasn't
guy.
on social media when I met
Yeah.
him. He wasn't. A guy like Tal Freeman in Florida sells more apartment buildings than anybody else in South Florida. Anybody else with Newmark. For him, it was expanding his social media. Now he's just doing that. He's Sam McVeigh, probably the #1 hospitality broker in the world out of Australia. For him, it was just structure and focus and making a plan for every single week.
Yeah.
Everyone's different. Everyone is different. Everyone has a bottleneck somewhere. And you make a couple of tweaks, exponentially, the return is phenomenal.
Now, when you're looking at these guys and their careers over this time period where you've helped them build, do they often have something like, is there something that they're leaving on the table? Like you say, oh, you're really good at this, but you're not paying attention to this opportunity. Are they more like narrow focus, stay in my silo? This is what it is. And I'm just going to stick
No,
with
the
it.
ones that get in trouble, the ones that say, try to jump out of the silo. I could do this. I could do this. And and Hormozy says this, right? That's the girl in the red dress. And I know it's a very sexist thing. I apologize. But that's the girl in the red dress theory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this, but man, that looks interesting. Stop. You got this. You're not even you're not at the top yet. You're not. There is no top, right? There,
Yeah.
you can always do more. You can sell another building and lease more, represent a tenant, refinance, whatever it's going to be. If you just focus on the one thing you're doing well, you can make substantially more money and more success by focusing on that more. You can.
Man, I mean, it's just wild. You think about, again, the sports to professions to like family life. It all kind of boils down to the same things, right? Like it is like that the boring work, the success comes in the boring work.
That's it is. It's in the commitment to the fundamentals. You do the fundamentals, everything else starts to grow.
Wow. That's not what people want to hear though, right? That's what they don't they want you to say, actually, just do this and everything's gonna be fine. But nobody wants to do the blocking and the tackling like you guys have alluded to before. I've heard on a podcast with Bo and those guys. But that's really what it is. And I'm so guilty of that because I feel like working for myself, I'm constantly having to hold myself accountable. And somebody was told me, they're like, you can't be a bad employee and a bad boss. You gotta be, so I'm like, wow, shit. Okay. So that helped me down. And plus I've watched a lot of your YouTube videos too, just to be honest with you. I'm kind of getting a little education on the side there,
Good. I'm glad I can help.
being
But
honest.
Kyle, like for you, for example, so do you have anyone in your who else besides you is on your team?
I have an assistant. That's
Good.
it.
So,
Yeah.
Alan Buchanan came to us, and he's a seasoned SIOR, right?
Yeah.
Making
Yeah. I know him.
really strong money, and it's just him and an assistant. That's all it was. Now we were able to quadruple working, and Alan. I'm saying, it's about commitment and discipline. That defines Alan to a T. He quadrupled his incredible income when working with us. But again, it was just him and his assistant. Everyone
Mm,
thinks you need this great team. You don't. But
yeah.
just understand you don't. If you're just you and assistant, Kyle, you're not going to do sales and leasing and refinancing and retail and office and industrial. You're not going to do that. You're going
No.
to be great at this one thing, which is retail for you. You're great at this. So
Yeah.
let's do this.
There you go. Now I got make me want to get on the phone right now after this call. So you alluded to a fifth book that I did not mention. We want to talk about that?
Well, we know. So you mentioned Knowings and Doing, Brokers Who Dominate, and which one? I think you mentioned Teens Built to Dominate. Those are my
Yeah.
first three. We knock on wood. No, by the way, Knowing and Doing is my favorite book of all time. It is.
That,
Of my five books, I love the last book I did with Bob Knackel. That was because I love Bob. My fourth book, Dominators, Revisited Brokers. But Knowing is and Doing, my third book, we just put in paperback just last week for $9.99.
oh
If
wow.
you're listening to this, that gives you the playbook to do everything. Knowing isn't doing. But yeah, I'm going to create my new book I start working on last month. And though I will not write it with AI, I won't. I'll never write a word with AI. I just don't believe that I should do
Yeah.
that for me. But what I can do with AI is I could take my writings and I could help me edit it and format it. Things would take months, frankly, to do.
Hmm.
Now I could do in minutes. So
Wow.
I think I might get this book out this year, which would be pretty wild.
That's amazing. So, and then you also you kind of you worked with Bob on the Selling the Buildings book, right? That was the
Yep.
other one. That was
Yep.
the episode I watched. So a lot of great resources out there. I mean, you're all over the place, but is there the best place for somebody to find you, get a hold of you if they want to
Yep.
talk to you more about
Massimo,
business?
Massimo.coach, massimo.coach. If you're a commercial real estate broker, mortgage broker, and commercial, and we have a program for every level of success, experience, and yes, now budget. And oh, by the way, Kyle, the big news that coming out of Massimo, we hinted at it on Twitter last week. We are going to, we think in June, maybe July, but we are going to introduce to the market the first ever commercial real estate AI coach. Yeah,
Wow.
a coach for everyone on the planet who's a commercial real estate broker at a very low investment, very low. They're teaching Massimo methodologies. We can't wait.
That's amazing. So they can just interact with that as opposed to
Yeah,
attending
and it's an
as an
interaction.
active.
It's not a chat bot. It's an actual coach. It's gonna be
Wow.
pretty wild.
That's super cool. All right. Well, congratulations on that. That's super huge. And glad to hear from you again. Hope you have a great summer if I don't see you. And yeah, thanks for the time today.
Okay. Well, are you a Knicks fan?
I am a Knicks fan.
Okay, then go Knicks.
I know. I mean, the last time I'm still like, I heard somebody in the coffee shop today was stung. They were like talking about the Knicks. And he's like, man, I wasn't even alive when they were in the playoffs. I'm like, oh, I'm that old now. I mean, 1999 still feels like 5
It
years
was
ago to me.
26 years ago.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, I'm excited. Everybody's excited now. So I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about what's coming out of the West, but I think that's
Yeah.
just natural for us
Well,
Knicks fans.
we'll figure. We need a Charles Oak. We can make things hard on him.
A little levity. Yeah, for sure. All
Okay,
right.
Kyle. Thank you so much.
Thank you.